Ohio State now about 4 seats up. And it'll be Ohio State, then Radcliffe Crew. Our second flight of the second Varsity 4 is underway at the top of the course. In lane 4 will be the University of Central Florida, lane 3, Indiana University, and lane 2, the University of North Carolina. And it looks like off to my early start, North Carolina might have the early lead. UCF close to them as well. Those two crews leading IU in the center lane.
Yeah, and in the previous heat, North Carolina also opened quite early, so I wonder if there was a message coming from the coaches, in these conditions, let's start aggressive.
Starting aggressive and maintaining that aggression is a good strategy, especially in these conditions. I'll say it again, the boat race is an emotional event. Having an early lead can be very motivating for your crew. And here it looks like University of Central Florida might be eating into that North Carolina lead. They might be the crew that's getting their bow ball out front in the first quarter of this race.
So Central Florida at a program high number 12 in the nation, riding a lot of momentum coming out of the Sarasota 2Ks, which was the event they contested last weekend. I have to believe that the warm climate down in Florida gives some training advantage as far as being able to row through the winter. They seem very ready to compete. We'll see how they manage their form coming into this one.
Absolutely. Here in this race, University of Central Florida has gotten their bow ball out front. They have opened up a little bit of water between themselves and second position, University of North Carolina. If anything, North Carolina, bow to stern overlap, but still in contact. So your positions right now, University of Central Florida out front, North Carolina working to take some momentum back from them. And in third position is Indiana University. This will be an interesting race between UCF and UNC. There's both still a lot of overlap, and we'll see if University of North Carolina is able to regain some of that early momentum they got out of the blocks pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think we're also in the part of the race where reality is set in for these crews. If you started fast, now psychologically you're in front. You have to hold that position, or if you're behind where you thought you might want to be, you're going to have to respond, and maybe it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Right now, University of Central Florida working to open up a little bit of space between themselves and the second place University of North Carolina. They still have just the slightest bit of overlap between bow and stern, and that University of Central Florida crew working to open up some water between them and second place University of North Carolina. In third position is Indiana University. All three crews here navigating these conditions really well, best they can.
Yeah, and we can see all the crews really opting to not push the stroke rate too hard too early, and really focusing on that blade entry, blade exit, and really peaking the power in the middle of the stroke to set that boat and push it through those heavy conditions.
Absolutely. And here we're getting a shot. It looks like University of Central Florida has got about a seat of open water on second position, University of North Carolina. Indiana University still holding it out in that third place position. I think University of Central Florida's on the water time is really showing up here. They look clean and composed, moving really well through this water today.
Yeah, and I mean, we think of Florida as sort of a placid place, but I know that there's been many a windy regatta down at Benderson Park, so I'm sure that they have experience in these conditions as well.
Some early times at the 1,000-meter mark. University of Central Florida with a time of 3:46, University of North Carolina with a time of 3:50, and Indiana University with a time of 3:59.
So even though these crews are a little bit more spread out, it's going to be important that they continue to fight just about as hard as they can, because when the coaches from their own team review these races, when the CRCA poll voters review these races, they do look into the margins. So like we said earlier, the crew is going through this middle part of the course, a little bit less wind effect than in the beginning and towards the end. So maybe a bit of an opportunity for the crews to increase the rate and or just have a little bit of reprieve from the buffeting that you feel in one of these fours.
Absolutely. Looking at the margins here, UCF has opened up several lengths of water between themselves and the second position UNC. IU still holding in third position.
So from your experience in a race situation like this, what are you feeling when it's this spread out? Is it hard to get a little bit lost in your head to stay focused, or you have a coxswain to keep you on task? What are the athletes experiencing?
Oh, during my time, I always had a coxswain to keep me on task. Helen in the booth here with us is no stranger to being in the boat with me. My job was to keep my head forward and listen to them. So I think a good rower keeps their head straight ahead and they listen to all the information that their coxswain tells them. There is nothing I need to be thinking about other than moving with the person in front of me, keeping my shoulders up, staying as relaxed as I can, and continuing to work hard. That's what all 12 of these rowers on the water are doing, and all three coxswains on the water are doing an amazing job motivating their athletes, giving them up-to-date conditions on how the water looks, where their competition is. Your job is not to be looking around, it's to be locked in straight ahead of you and moving the crew.
Speaking of coxes, Eliza Schaefer coxing this UCF 4. In the 4C, Claire Kaminsky. In the 3C, T. Zulovich. In the 2C, Julia Schultz. And in 1, Vilma Kagsma in this leading boat. I don't see any left-right head movement from anyone. I think this is still feeling very competitive despite the margin.
Absolutely. This is a composed crew here at UCF in a bucket-rigged 4, approaching the line calm, cool, and collected with a very strong race.
So for folks not familiar, a bucket rig is when the two middle seats are rowing on the same side, which we can see in this overhead shot if you're on the broadcast.
UCF approaching the line. And that'll be UCF, the first position, followed by the University of North Carolina. Indiana with a strong performance here. I can hear their coxswain from here, coaching her athletes across the line in the third position in this second flight of the second varsity 4s. Up at the top of the course, we have our first varsity 4s lined up and ready, and we have a start